I feel like DRX have their hands pretty much forced in that exchange because they were hoping to rotate, but they get clipped out by the side of CoreMV. Meanwhile, BTR dealing with heavy firepower coming in. Hans managed to hold them by the staircase, but it is the exchanges coming in from the outskirts. Those bullets coming in from the side of Falcon Forest. We'll see their own demise as well. Icy tries to push in, but it's Richuki taking charge of things here around the block. But there's just not going to be any entry point at all. Falcons, they hope to claim this estate, but they will have to wait for a little bit longer because there's also Yoodo lines moving into the same direction. The rest of BTR, they managed to go in for the revive, so that's good going for them, picking that 1 point up. But now, what's Jimmy gonna do? He's gonna be hustling the rest of Falcons to move within the compound range once again, but the shots are fired. Top's gonna be on the ground, and the nades flying in. That Molotov might be able to do a little bit of damage, but East will be able to revive his brother very, very quickly. So RUTHLESS also on the watch as well. This is 4 teams clumped against another.
I guess it's a good thing, you know, good news on the side of BIGETRON Red Aliens. The fact that East, or was that Top, not quite sure there, but one of them actually got knocked down by Yoodo Alliance, right? So that actually bought some time for BIGETRON Red Aliens to kind of have a reset. Now, coming from behind, Yoodo Alliance now getting a huge backstab done up against BTR, hence getting a point right there by added look. Now, Falcons as well as BTR getting sandwiched in between. And as you can see, Yoodo Alliance holding off multiple angles here, but this is a great response from BTR, shutting down added look.
When Jimmy, how much more damage can he do coming from the off angle from the top side of the hill? The rest of BTR, they find Zuxi to be knocked down. Lapar tries to resuscitate those members. Those nades are not really hitting the mark just yet, coming from the side of Hands. Now, that allows TJB to slowly move in, and Falcon wants blood too.
Oh man, it's non-stop action right here, ladies and gents. I mean, understandably so, because of the fact that the circle, it has like at least 40% water here. So the land space that we have is not that much. So the circle is getting crowded as we speak. And just like that, DRX being the top team now out of the game. Falcons Force continues to perhaps dominate Yoodo Alliance because they have been
forced to play a little bit more defensively. Yoodo Alliance, they're just hugging bottom the lower floors, trying to prime grenades through. Still not really getting angles right. I say that, and Leo finds the mark. Now,
2 minutes later.
oh boy, for MV, they're just getting hustled, even by the corner of the coast where they're not exactly in the zone just yet, and needing to even go in for a pickup right now. They don't have much time. So DX takes this chance to go on for the full rush against 4MV. Meanwhile, Yoodo Alliance finally decides it's time to make our advancements clear. Top's already down, only one member left, and he's just hugging by the corner wall. Ease will soak it all up. Game, because they're taking the North Point uncontested as well, but the nades are flying through. DX versus Talon, very loose Yoodo Alliance early on, and FaZe Clan is the next to bite the dust as well. Those nades flying into the window is going to be a little bit tough for Talon to try to find a little bit of open space. Lamborghini moving from the back as well will be in the challenge, and he just swerves through. An eye for an eye. Talon Esports will still find a response with M, taking down the leader of the pack.
Wow.
And that is all she wrote. Talon Esports down and out.
You know, I would like to get back to what you said earlier. I mean, DRS is pretty on point when it comes to their circle prediction, right? I mean, position-wise, they're doing really great. But then again, with the kind of point system that we have for PUBG, I mean, you cannot really just play this one and rely on getting those placement points. You need to get those extra kill points. And DRS, although they're very on point with their position, I mean, they're a little passive in terms of getting those elimination points.
Yeah, meanwhile, these guys are the latter, right? Like, they love to go in for some exchanges. TJB only down to Kist, as he's just hoping to find one against Paragin, and the blue zone setting in as well. He doesn't really have meds or anything at all. He just have to man up and take this fight just mano a mano, and Paragin somehow wins the trade. This is that massive 10-pointer out of DX that we've been waiting for.
Yes, sir. I mean,
oh boy, but he's got to be careful about Alva because he's on the watch.
Blue Reaper is the most unstoppable guy that we have in this competition. I mean, he continues to rack up a lot of points, right? But yeah, I mean, what a turn of events. I mean, PANDUM, instead of actually going up against HARAME Bros, they did prioritize getting inside the circle, and now they might do the gatekeeping here up against HARAME. Now, one of the players come from DRS decided to go for a swim, probably because it's too hot of battles that we are experiencing so far. Giante goes down, turning the ocean red.
And HORAA Esports, they submerge in the water, and once they got out of it, they get perfect peaks over onto both Sleepy as well as Gante. Now, somehow, Example has to turn this one around, and he's just got those free range of grenades. There's so little land for them to work with. And once they dip in the water, there's not much that No Fear could actually do about this situation. Gotta quickly go in for those revives, and he doesn't really have that much time. But at least for now, that blue zone's not setting in too quickly, though. They got a minute and a half to go. And for some reason, Alter Ego Ares as well as PANDUM, they're getting the upper end of these trades because they're just staying dry on land instead.
Whew, oh, man. Yante, we'll have to say goodbye to you, man, because I don't think XMPL would go for that pickup. You'd be the sacrificial lamb for the team. HORAA Esports, again, staying outskirts. Don't exactly know what would be the plan here, but I do believe they will be coming after XMPL now that he is all alone from inside that house. But let's not take out HARAME Bros just yet, because, well, the fact that HORAA Esports actually came here, they also have a chance to assume points as well. And there you go, Malik already on the ground, but this time coming from Alva of Alter Ego Airs from across the field, I might add.
Yeah, it's the last end coming from the side of XMPL. There's an 8 being primed right in as well. It's gonna be a little bit far off as he's holding on to the lower side of the staircase. Got that DBS at the ready, but a little bit of respect being shown from the side of HORAA Esports as they can still go in for the pickup. They don't want to risk it all for the meantime, but it's definitely taking a while for them to settle the scores. And the moment that they do, well, it just takes one perfect bang out of that grenade from No Fear to take them down. So DRS, the best that they can settle for is 5th. Now, the biggest fish to fry right now has got to be Alter Ego Ares. They got 3 very healthy members that's playing from the ground side up. And I guess they're in the midst of battle against Team PANDUM, and that exchange still see Hans to be very, very healthy, and it's been 6 points right now. HARAME Bros, they're kind of stuck in between. They still have Federalis at least in close proximity with Joe Brenke.
You just see what they did there. I mean, Alter Ego Airs, okay, just kind of just swooped in, eliminated one of the players come from Team Panda, and just went back to the compound. So I guess they're scouting the area and just really looking through all possibilities and what kind of approach they're going to do in this certain situation. But HORAA Esports, they have to deal with 2 members at least of HARAME Bros before they can actually get inside the circle. And to be honest, the reason why Alter Ego Airs probably has the biggest chance of scoring the chicken dinner here is the fact that HORAA will go up against HARAME Bros, and even if they win the fight, we cannot say if all members would survive, right? So that puts them as sort of a disadvantage there. And Alter Ego Airs is just smiling from afar, waiting for the fight to happen and over to be done with.
Yeah, speaking of which, they're really putting up a massive fight though. Amass trying to go for goal, but he drops down on the ground instead. Great maneuvers coming from the side of HORAA Esports. They overwhelm the likes of the 2 members standing in the way from HARAME Bros. And that will mean Federalis will have to play this one all alone. Now, just like you said, Alter Ego Ares, they've been waiting for things to happen, and now they finally took charge. They cleaned house against the rest of Team PANDUM. They settled for 4th, and now it's only 2 members that's going to be pretty much healthy and alive for the side of HORAA Esports, or should I say 3. With a good reset, I still see them up and running, but Federalis, he could still pull some stops here.
Okay, this is a tricky situation. Okay, Federalis is all alone, right? Coming from HARAME Bros. But I do feel like HORAA Esports knows exactly where he is. We can see that there's nades being thrown at his direction. But as you can see as well, Alter Ego Airs holding off multiple angles here. Obviously, Rosemary would try as much as possible to make that angle work for him and just go for the pincher. So I can still say that Alter Ego Ares has the best chance of winning this fight.
Yeah, just smart positioning overall. They just take control of 90% of the circle at the moment. By the south side, you have the two teams struggling to make ends meet. Three members stack just shoulder to shoulder coming in from side of HORAA Esports. So Alter Ego, once they do get a perfect line of sight, that should be an easy clearance for them. But Alpha doesn't exactly have the best angles to work with because he's hiding behind his shack. But once he steps out, I guess he should be able to contribute a whole lot more. Federalis, he can play it a little bit more defensively, but he's not exactly within that zone. So less than 10 seconds, they now will have to journey in. So it's all about execution for the side of Alter Ego Ares to secure a win here.
Yeah, push comes to shove. I mean, if Hans Mary as well as one more player come from Alter Ego Ares loses the fight, then Alva could potentially, you know, like be the last player remaining, considering the fact that, you know, he's inside that shack over there. And again, as we mentioned a while ago, he doesn't really have that great view, right? And Federalis taking in some shots coming from HORAA Esports. I don't know how long he can last in this situation, but he continues to be elusive up until this point. So great effort right there coming from Federalis of Harame Bros, the Filipino Terminator, doing his best to actually survive stage number 8 here in Erangel. But the situation continues on. Of course, Alter Ego Ares still dictating the tempo of this match. HORAA Esports, I think what makes them vulnerable at this point is the fact that they're all together in just one spot. So one nade can actually destroy them.
Yeah, the good thing about this is that they're not exactly within that nade distance. Alter Ego Ares, they're happy to give them that tiny little space to work with and slowly funnel all of their crosshairs into that one same direction. But with a very good pickoff coming from the side of HORAA Esports, they could also turn the tide to round 2. So smokes have been deployed, but how much can they make full effect out of some of all these defensive setup? Will they go in for a split? What exactly is the call here for the side of HORAA Esports? Now they make some advancements here, slowly crawling their way through the fields, as this is just a slow waiting game from the side of Alter Ego Ares with that discipline. And HORAA, I believe that he's already scouted out Rosemary.
Whoa.
First damage being down, first contact hits. And 2 members are already down and out. HORAA Esports, only 1 member left standing in the way. Hans, he's just gonna full send it. And Sky denies the point away. But the win will still be back by the Indonesian side of Alter Ego Ares.
Oh man, great execution still from Alter Ego Ares. They know when to join the fight, and they know when to back out. They know when to pick up a point.